service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. Full AccuWeather forecast is right across the top of all CNC local news pages. Rochester Mayor Tom Richards started his annual State of the City address Monday night by having Spider-Man hand-deliver his script with a thanks to the Hollywood film crew currently shooting in Rochester. Then he got serious, saying Rochester is going through a fundamental change in its circumstances that it can't ignore. Richards said the Flower City is a third smaller than the population it was built for and no longer looks to Eastman Kodak Company for its civic leadership, the company that once dominated the local economy. The mayor says that needs to be recognized and dealt with, first by realizing that this is a real transformation in how the city works, and second by not trying to blame this new reality on some other group. Mayor Richards says he is addressing these changes by first putting a focus on public safety in Rochester. He says the new city budget will include a mechanism for neighborhood groups to work directly with police on how best to stem violence on their own ground. Richards says they'll decide together what's best for each part of the city and budget accordingly. The city will also fund 400 more youth jobs this summer and continue its pressure on gangs. Richards also says the upcoming budget will continue significant investment in city neighborhoods and in improved housing. In line with that city focus on collaborative public safety, Police Chief Jim Shepard will be out Tuesday evening for one of his Chief on the Street evenings. He'll be walking the streets of Charlotte. Prior to that, he'll be at the community room of the Charlotte Harbor Townhomes from 6 to 7:30, taking questions from anybody who's interested. If you're going downtown Tuesday, here are the street closings for the Spider-Man 2 movie shoot. The focus is moving to Pindle Alley and Church Street near City Hall, as well as Main Street. Main Street is closed from South Plymouth Avenue to State Street, open east of State Street. So is Pindle Alley and Church Street from State to Fitzhugh, both closed. Monroe County Executive Maggie Brooks says by trying to alleviate air traffic control delays, Congress may have seriously affected safety-related projects for Rochester and other airports. Brooks says this is an unintended consequence of the federal budget sequestration. She is going to Washington Tuesday to urge Congress to reconsider. The House and Senate acted after travelers complained about flight delays caused by the furloughs of air traffic controllers, and those in turn caused by across-the-board budget cuts of the sequester. To fix that problem, they approved a bill essentially shifting FAA funding from one pocket to another so the controllers could stay on the job. But Brooks says they took that money from funds intended for airport capital improvement projects, including 10 that were to be built this year at the Greater Rochester International Airport. Brooks says those projects would have provided jobs for more than 300 construction workers. She also says that congressional action leaves the Rochester Airport Tower at risk of closing overnight. Rochester is the only one of the big three Western New York airports with Category 2 ILS, which guides planes safely to the runway in severe weather, and it can't operate without a manned control tower. The Securities and Exchange Commission says Eastman Kodak Company's CEO Antonio Perez cleared almost $3.5 million last year, the year he took the company into bankruptcy and retooled it into a smaller Kodak that focuses on high-end printing equipment. The SEC has released its annual filings from Kodak, spelling out how the company paid its top executives last year. Perez got a base salary of $1.15 million. On top of that, he took home more than $2 million in cash bonuses. Several other Kodak executives made close to $1 million each in salary and bonuses, and Kodak stock closed Monday at 16 cents a share. State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman says he is suing Bank of America and Wells Fargo for repeatedly violating the terms of the National Mortgage Settlement. The settlement was signed more than a year ago by 49 state attorneys general and the federal government, with 5 of the nation's biggest banks. The banks agreed to provide as much as $25 billion in relief to distressed homemakers. The agreement included a list of more than 300 standards the banks were then supposed to meet to make sure homeowners could renegotiate their home loans for better rates. Attorney General Schneiderman says his office has documented 339 violations of that agreement by Wells Fargo and Bank of America. He says they have flagrantly violated the deal they signed and put hundreds of homeowners across New York at greater risk of foreclosure. State Senator John Sampson turned himself in to federal authorities in New York City Monday. They charged him with 9 counts of embezzling money to fund an unsuccessful campaign for Brooklyn District Attorney. The Brooklyn Democrat pleaded not guilty and was released on $250,000 bond. Prosecutors said they have offered Sampson a plea deal: plead guilty on 2 of the 9 counts, spend no more than 4 years in prison. A short time ago, Sampson was leader of the Democratic Conference in the state Senate and once was minority leader. Now he has been stripped of his leadership positions and his committee assignments. USA Today gives props to Shaler's on Edgemere Drive in Greece for the Rochester White Hot. Shaler's Drive-In made number 4 on the paper's list of America's best hot dog joints. The dog that did it for them, the Shaler's White Hot, one with the onions, hot sauce, and mustard. Bon appetit up there by the lakeshore. To the left of the player window, you'll find links to these and other stories, including the Overnight News Digest. And on the bottom of the page, links you can use to post news and information directly to us. So share what you know. If you've got that great video on your cell phone, let us know about that. Next news is as it happens, and updates are as necessary. You get to help us be the judge of that by what you share. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.